Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today in the arena we're going to try out a green-white adventures deck. I've been on a bit of the adventures kick for a while. I think a lot of the competitive arena players have been. Not that I'm overly competitive, just that most of the arena competitors and streamers that I know, I've been seeing them playing a lot of adventure, and it makes me want to go on adventures myself. This is a deck I've never played. You guys are going to get to see me take a deck out into the wild that I've actually never even tested, because the deck lists for the upcoming Sapphire, how do I say this? Sapphire Throne split for the MPL were just published today, and that is a show that will air this weekend on Saturday, and it will feature players competing for a spot in the top 16, like a direct ticket to the top 16 of an upcoming Mythic Championship tournament. So it is a lot's on the line. You can win a lot of money. These top 16 finishes are worth a lot. Placing in the top 8 or the top 4 is worth a lot. So very exciting to kind of get to see what the MPL players would play in a high stakes environment. And Reed Duke, just elected to the Hall of Fame, really excellent player, excellent pro, has elected this deck, this green-white adventure deck. Edgewall Innkeeper, we've seen some adventure stuff before. This card can draw a bunch of cards, but this one has even more cheap creatures than I think the green-black one can put together. So many 1-mana adventure creatures like Guide Mother and Giant Killer and Foxen Intruder, and we have a Shepherd of the Flock, just one of them, and then we have the 4 Lovestruck Beast. So this is our adventure engine, and the deck can definitely get some nutty draws where they draw Innkeeper, play a bunch of these creatures, draw a bunch of cards. To make it so that we have our Innkeeper and our Lovestruck Beasts and such more often, we have Once Upon a Time. Filling out the role to add some power to the deck is Amara, Venerated Loxodon, Tristani Discordant, and of course March of the Multitudes. Go super wide, make the team super big. Unbreakable Formation does that as well. Flourish, the other side of Flower, pumps the team as well. Run the opponent over. It's an interesting go-wide strategy to combat all the mid-range and kind of tall control decks in the meta. And I really want to know, like, where Reed Duke, like, what's his head at? Like, how good is the matchup against, say, Golos Field of the Dead? How good is a matchup with those food decks that just are powering out, like Oko and Teferi are just so much loyalty so fast with such annoying abilities. Like, can we compete with that? And especially all the Wraths in the format. Lots of Realm Cloak Giants, Time Wipes, Planar Cleansings. People are just blowing stuff up all the time in these ramp strategies. So I'm skeptical. I'm always a bit skeptical of green-white creature decks. I've kind of been burned by them over and over again through Magic history, and yet we keep coming back. I'll try anything, so I want to see how this deck does. And yeah, I think that's all I've got to say on the deck, so let's go play some games. You'll get to see me right from the get-go, and barely knowing what I'm doing, as usual. And let's see if we can win. Oh, the ladder just reset, by the way. Just so everybody knows, ladder totally reset, new season, so we're right there at the rock bottom of Platinum Tier 4, so I don't have anything to lose by trying a new deck. All right, to glory. Two Once Upon a Times. Alrighty, I wonder if we're just supposed to cast the Giant Killer. I guess we'll see. We probably do the Heart's Desire thing first, right? So if we're going to Heart's Desire, then we may as well play this now. Innkeeper. Boss. So now we play that. Oh yeah. Now we play that. Maybe it would have been better to Heart's Desire, just to not risk the Innkeeper, and then play it with the Giant Killer next turn, but things are working out really nicely. So, give me a Giant Killer, draw me a card, and give me the Heart's Desire, and pass it over to our pelt collecting friend. How you doing, buddy? Mono green so far. Our opponent's already back up in Diamond after, like, the season just reset, so they're on the absolute grind. They're going for it. And the Pelt Collector does not attack. It's a little surprising to me. So we could Venerated Loxodon, and actually we could make another token then Venerating Loxodon. That's strong. That's strong. And we could still Once Upon a Time? No, we couldn't. We would be 1 mana short of that action. Or we could actually just play out the Beast, which can pretty much block their whole board. And right now it draws us a card from the Innkeeper. I think I'll take the slower bus than trying to get Venerated going right away. Let's play a card advantage game against their green deck and make them go over the top of us. They might have the Great Henge to do exactly that, but let's at least put it on them to deal with some 3 mana 5/5s. Harpooner. And your Pelt Collector's tapped. Oh, or your Pelt Collector's not tapped. So what we can... Ooh. I was thinking we could tap this Pelt Collector and attack with a Beast and see what happens. At the same time, I can just make another token to make another Beast. Maybe some trades are perfectly fine. Yeah. And probably a double block. Yep. It's fine. Let's kill the Pelt Collector. Pelt Collector keeps growing. We want to shut that down. So now we will Heart's Desire. Make the 1/1. Pay 2 life here. Play another Beast. Draw a card. And go tall. Now our Beast can't attack until we have a 1/1 creature, but we do have another Lovestruck Beast to make another 1/1 creature. So feeling good about it. And this board this is a bossy board right here. And our opponent plays 2 little Wildwood Trackers. If it attacks or blocks and you control a non-human creature, it gets buff. So these definitely count. So these block as 2/2s. It's a problem, but it's not a big problem. All right. Let's go ahead and activate this Lovestruck Beast with a 1/1 creature. We can tap down the Barkhide Troll so that that blocker's missing. Which makes our 2/2s better attackers. And see what our opponent has to say about this. I think what I like is the Lovestruck Beast and saving Giant Killer. Our opponent must have some larger creatures in the deck somewhere, and being able to use the Giant Killer's Adventure Mode, Chop Down, would be probably just a tempo swing too far that the opponent can't recover from. The Trackers are going to take on the Loxodon. And we'll say go with Once Upon a Time available. And that's game. Sorry, Fox. Our opponent never got their 3rd land. A little bit lopsided, but definitely a good example of the kind of curve that our deck really wants to do. I guess Lovestruck Beast spam is the play of the day. Let's see what happens. Heart's Desire. Sung to the tune of Hearts on Fire from the Rocky soundtrack. Maybe some of y'all pick up on that. Rocky 4, that is, to be precise. Alright. Have a 1/1 to the face. Oh my gosh, are we really going to do it like this? Are we really going to stall me at every single stop? Just so you can play your Spectral Sailor? Okay. At least they kind of timed it, because I think now they're going to make another play, maybe? Or they're just more weird Once Upon a Time timing is what that was. Alright, so we make another Heart's Desire, and then we go fetch a Plains. I think that's the line. Plainses. And the Sailor is here. Okie dokes. Let the party begin. Looks like we're gonna be against the more annoying deck in the format, Simic Flash. But hey, pay that 2 life, I can appreciate that. So our opponent doesn't want to play a Wildborn Preserver into a Lovestruck Beast. They know about this. Nothing to hide there. So I don't think they'll play a 2-2 here. If they do, we get a 5-5. It's not a great trade. Whoa. Cowardly. All right. We'll go for this. I'm sure they have a... I mean, maybe you don't have a quench. Maybe that's why you blocked the 1-1. They could have ambush blocked both 1-1s, but then March of the Multitudes turns the beasts back on later, so I wasn't worried about that. Oh my goodness. Magic is so hard when all your spells have flash. This opponent is bringing you an ad break, friends. Wow. I can't imagine what would make me think that hard about that quench. I'm going to try to put myself in my opponent's shoes. There is nothing I think that would make me think that hard about the quench. But anyway, coolstuffinc.com. While we wait for the opponent to resolve this spell. Coolstuffinc.com, promo code CGB5. If you would like to save 5% off your order. They live up to their name, coolstuffinc.com. All right. Our opponent kept on top. Their draw must be perfect. The fact that they shocked for Breeding Pool on 2, kept on top, then played this tells me that they're using it to hit their lands. Ooh, I think I just march on my opponent's turn now. All right. March on my opponent's turn, get him to tap out. Maybe I draw an Adventure Keeper to play with this Innkeeper and get some value. Value is their enemy, without question. What you got? Okay. Interesting. That's probably not resolving, is it? But maybe our opponent will play a Nightpack Ambusher if we attack. Or maybe we just say go with the March of the Multitudes. You know what? I think that what we do is put out the Innkeeper. If the opponent counters it, we can march. On their turn, we can march. Either way, we want to get our march on. If they don't counter it, we're way ahead. If they do counter it, we have a Tristani. And we'll do it before combat, because if the opponent plays like a Frilled Mystic, then we'll know whether or not we can attack. We even have this option like Unbreakable Formation, charge. Preserver, sure. Timing's weird. I see. Okay, we got you tapped down, so we should resolve March of the Multitudes. Or should we do it on their turn and even hope it gets countered so Tristani resolves? It's two interesting choices. Let's pass. We could also Unbreakable Formation and just get in there for 6 and have a bunch of 2/2s, but I think we can save that for later. If our March gets countered, I guess there is a world where the opponent can quench us and quench, negate, something like that. So we'll do it now. Just make sure it happens. Go, huh? I wonder if yeah, maybe we just attack and see if our opponent will play something. What's important is that these resolve, not whether or not we lose a token or 2. I mean, is the opponent really going to take 8 here? It's a 2-turn clock. They're going to need to do something. But then again, so are we. We need to do something. We need to force their hand somehow on this counter magic. They're taking it. We don't want to make it like a freebie to play a Nightpack Ambusher. So I guess we jam the Tristani and get it countered, just so that the opponent has to use their mana. Okay then, that's fine by me. That works, I think. All right, wolves. Fox. Part of the same canine family. What's going on? How are you gonna deal with that many tokens? I doubt you're playing something on your own turn, so I think we can get the your turn make a token part going. I don't think there's anything that you would do on your own turn here to take away from that, but there's a scoop. Sad fox. Whoa. I think I have to keep it, because if we draw a green source, like, it's on. If not, I guess it's just creature formation, but I can't mulligan a hand with the innkeeper. We just gotta get there, guys. We just gotta get there. Here's a guide mother. Drat. Alright, well, we'll just go ham. If we draw any land, we Loxodon. Actually, we can Loxodon without drawing a land, so we're just going Loxodon ham on the opponent. As ham as possible. I'm gonna open a meat shop, and it's gonna specialize in ham. Freaking gate stacks. Still no green, huh? Still no land in general. Brutal. Let's see what the opponent can do. They've ramped. They have 3 colors. They have a Teferi. What does it do?
Sorry I'm late.
Bounce the Giant Killer. Alright. It's pretty cheap to replay. So, Temple of Milady. Scry. Apparently it's a tough one. Big decision. Probably one of those things like, do I want a Hydroid Crisis right now when I really want to hit my land drops? Decision along those lines, probably. And to the top it is. But if you have to think that hard about a card that you put on top, I think it's a risky proposition, which bodes well for me. What doesn't bode well for me is the fact that I has no land, as this draw has not worked out.
I really should have seen that coming.
Alright, redeploy the Giant Killer. Did the opponent not block at all? Did they take all the damage to face as well? Well, the Loxodon, they would have had to chump away their Grazer. Maybe that just wasn't something they were interested in. Okay, no land. Root. They're going to get to 7, but they don't have a field yet. So no zombies, just O3s. If I do hit a land, am I holding up Unbreakable formation because sweepers? That's why? Maybe. Maybe I am. Awkward timing. Like, it's really just not worth it to have 1 Heart's Desire and no adventure creatures to cast with the Innkeeper. We could just bump now and try to go for lethal. Or we could use it to prevent, like, a destroy everything, like a planar cleansing or something of that nature. We're a little bit ahead, but not far enough ahead. I think the play is to attack with these, hold this back. If we have nothing else to do with our mana, we can tap something down with the Giant Killer. And we get a little bit of damage in, we get a Grazer off the battlefield, and we're not exposed to a Wrath. This draw has been just awkward enough that it's going to be really hard to get through this. And there it is. Destroy all non-giant creatures. Unbreakable formation. All you did was grab your own Grazer. The opponent didn't have a land last turn. They scoop! Wow! They're not even going to try to draw another Wrath. Okay, that worked. We sniffed out the Wrath. I hope you enjoyed the games today with Green-White Adventures. It's my first try with the deck, and it already seems to have a lot of power involved, but just like the last Green-White Tokens deck, while the God draws are very strong, the average draws are very scary because it feels like you're playing pretty low-powered stuff. Still, I'm excited to see how it goes and where it lines up in the meta, and thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.